Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter and I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I'm here today to talk about the full moon in Cancer on January 6th, 2023. For the purpose of clarity, these videos are based on whole sign Western astrology, and all the times I refer to are going to be in the Pacific time zone, so please adjust for your area in the world. This full moon in Cancer, as I started to do my research, look at what the transits were and what was going on, I was suddenly drawn to go back and look at the full moons in the fall of 2022. And what I discovered was that we are having a series of 7 full moons at the 16th degree. The first one was on October 9th, 2022 with 16 degrees Aries, and it was conjunct Chiron at 14 degrees Chiron retrograde. On November 8th, 2022, the full moon was in Taurus, conjunct Uranus at 16 degrees. On December 7th, we had a full moon, 16 degrees Gemini, conjunct Mars retrograde. I started to see a pattern. I started to see themes. I started to feel like between the Mars retrograde for 7 months in Gemini, and now these full moons being at 16 degrees, 7 consecutive full moons. And then I went back and I looked at the new moons. We had a new moon at 1 degree Sagittarius. We had a new moon in December at 1 degree Capricorn. We will have a new moon in Aquarius at 1 degree in January. And then in February, we will have a Pisces new moon at 1 degree. So we're seeing this huge theme of the 1 number. So what I want to do is I'm going to back up a little bit and talk about what a full moon means. The full moon is when the moon and the sun are in an opposition, and there is this bright illumination, the culmination of a cycle. And usually it's considered a cycle of 6 months because it starts with the new moon of one sign, let's say Aries, and then that culminates with the full moon in October in Aries. So what I'm seeing is the culmination of a cycle that is requiring me, asking me repeatedly, how am I taking care of myself? How am I nurturing myself? How am I fostering my intuitive body, the gut feelings that I have? This is the 16th degree. It is a Cancer degree. And in the degree theories, we actually have 3 different degrees that represent the Cancer energy. The 16th being the 2nd degree. The first is the 4th, and then the final is the 28th degree. I say all this because I feel like we're in an opportunity as humans, sort of in this stage where we're not completely novices at the idea of self-nurturing is actually nurturing others, but we're also starting to connect with the idea that our intuitive bodies may be our most influential body. Our emotional body may be our most influential body of all the facets of the human experience. So this Cancer full moon has a couple of very interesting dynamics. The sun in Capricorn will be conjunct Mercury retrograde at 17 degrees. So now this is the 4th full moon in a row that has a retrograde planet influencing the culmination, the full moon. This sun is also making a trine to Uranus retrograde at 15 degrees in Taurus. I feel like this is so powerful. If we really step back and look at this, we are being given an opportunity through all this disruption to really clarify and delineate who and what we are to ourselves so that we can then birth that out into the world. The number 16th has the qualities of independence, of service, and of leadership. They are also associated with spiritual purity and the Tower card in the tarot, which represents Uranus, epiphanies, almost explosive changes, unexpected changes, innovation, things that break us out of our old box. The 1 number represents new beginnings, represents the independence, represents leadership, represents bravery, courage, and it represents our thoughts. The 6 number represents service to others and balance and harmony. So here, the 16th degree, when you add the 1 and the 6, becomes a 7. Now we have 7 consecutive full moons at the 16th degree. The 16th degree represents home, mother, family matters, the act of mothering and nurturing others, caretaking, fertility, to grow something, gestation, childbirth, emotions and feelings, a safe place. The nest, property, land, oceans, country or nation of origin, emotional security, intuition, and the gut feeling. This is so, I'm loving what I'm seeing here, because I'm really starting to think that those of us that are paying attention and are being aware of the themes and the cycles will stop feeling like they're happening to us and brace for them, is which we will embrace them and start to redirect our lives. The moon governs the receptive feminine energy. Again, the moon rules feeling safe, it rules the tides, it rules the oceans, and it rules nurturing. And on some level, I believe it is, I hate to say it like this because it may ruffle some feathers, but I think it's also attached to the ego. Because in Cancer's more challenging vibrations, there can be feelings of insecurity. And I believe those come from the ego when we're edging God out versus checking into our intuition and our heart chakra. Cancer rules the breast, it rules the chest, the stomach, and the wound. So the womb. So what we're seeing is this power center, which we could say is the stomach area, the breast and the chest is both our, pardon me, I thought I had that on Do Not Disturb, is our heart chakra. And what is most sensitive to our wants and our desires and to us feeling valuable. We have 3 more full moons at the 16th degree. In February, we'll see it in 16 degrees Leo. In March, it'll be 16 degrees Virgo. And then finally, in April, we'll see a 16-degree Leo full moon. I'm sorry, Libra full moon. My words. I have Mercury on my south node, excuse me. This period of time feels as if the new moon that we had in Sagittarius started to give us foreign ideas. The new moon in Capricorn started to want to put structure into those new ideas. The full moon is illuminating places where we are giving away our power, where we are putting our own wants and needs aside in some sort of altruistic venture to nurture others, but inadvertently our own self-sacrifice is not serving the whole. And this is what this illumination is bringing to me. We will have on March 21st a new moon at the 0 degree of Aries. The 0 degree of Aries is on the world axis. This is a pivotal point that I believe is all these full moons that have happened before this April 2023 new moon on the world axis are teeing us up to revolutionize our lives, to feel renovated and to feel new and to feel a sense of excitement. We will also see an eclipse on April 19th. And at that time, Pluto will have moved to the 0 degree of Aquarius. Pluto is going to bring death and destruction to old, antiquated human structures that perpetrate and purport imbalance, that, revere the rich and have disdain for the poor, as an example. So I think this is really powerful. The number 7 is, it's so interesting to me because when I was thinking about it, I thought, when they talk about creation from the Bible, on the 7th day, God rested. God took in the manifestation. He observed what he had created. We'll put it that way. I'm not necessarily a religious God person, but I'm going to frame it that way for the purposes of this video. The number 7 also represents the 7th house. And we have been seeing a series of full moons going through the first Aries and then culminating in the sign of balance, cooperation, diplomacy, and harmony, Libra. We see the number 7 representing analytical thought, introspection, a bit of solitary energy. There's a bit of reserved energy with the number 7. There's a spiritual element to it as it seeks the deeper truth. 7 is a quest for truth. And rather than the emotional element, it looks for things a little more analytically, a little bit more from an intellectual point of view. It wants to gather data and then draw a fair conclusion. So the number 7 represents seeing things and a deeper truth that maybe we just don't initially see with our eyes. So I think that this idea of 7 full moons, all at the 16th degree, the number 16 representing nurturing, representing self-care, representing our intuition, our connection with our perception of our family history, which also is reflected in the 2nd house. But for here, I'm going to leave it here in the 4th, because I really think this is an opportunity for the soul to redefine itself in this lifetime to a more authentic story and picture versus what has been imprinted upon it via well-meaning and loving people that were following structures that didn't really serve the soul. So here we're seeing this opportunity and this pattern of 1, 6, and 7 representing an opportunity to have new thoughts, to see new perceptions, to have this culmination of any sort of energies that put myself, my desires, my wants, my self-care on a back burner. Because I believe that as we stand in inspiration and in enthusiasm for what we want, we are literally inviting others to do the same. And it's a powerful tool. We're going to see the full moon when we get to April 2023, between the eclipses that we'll have during that period. We always have a little 2 eclipses in a row. I think we're going to start to see all of these concepts, these new thoughts, this new philosophy of life being rooted into the material experience. So there is the reason I'm approaching the full moon this way is because I want to encourage you all to look at this as a journey of self-discovery, a journey of giving myself permissions to explore the desires of my heart and know that this actually serves the greater collective. We are going to have the nodes entering the Aries Libra axis in July of 2023 until January of 2025. So the themes that are coming up with these full moon in Aries and then subsequently going through these first 7 houses, all again at the 16th degree. This is going to tee up the experience that we have when the nodes change. I believe that part of the reason, the South Node is in Scorpio right now. Scorpio rules power, dominance, control over others. And sometimes it is through fear. We're afraid of someone's reaction. We're afraid that they won't agree with our desires, or they will poo-poo our desires, or ask us questions we don't have answers to, which will diminish the excitement of our desires. So all of these things that are happening make me feel like they're preparing us to move into the age of Aquarius. When the North Node goes into Aries, there's going to be a strong pull for my own independence to assert who I am and express myself out into the world. And the Libra North Node is going to, or I'm sorry, the Libra South Node is going to ask me to be egoless in my people pleasing. That sometimes the initial reaction that someone has when another puts themselves first may feel jarring, it may feel disruptive, but ultimately it's a connector. It's a way of diffusing resentment, diffusing this feeling that's just coming out of me, giving, giving, giving. Now there's this receiving. All moons, full moon, waning moon, waxing moon, new moon, they represent receiving bounty from the universe, receiving joy, receiving evidence of our desires being viable, and being able to rest and trust that they are coming to fruition. It is a beautiful series of events, I think. So we really get to look at the main number here that's running through both the new moons and the full moons in this theme I've discovered is the 1. And I believe that 1 is being aware of my thoughts. We've got Mars in retrograde in Gemini. Gemini rules thinking, speaking, writing. It also rules the mind that gets caught up in our everyday activities that almost starts to feel like it chirps in my ear about, what I have to get done versus what I want to get done. So there's this huge theme coming up for me, an opportunity to extract wisdom from disruption, to implement what I like to call the framework of my dreams. Maybe it starts with a vision board. Maybe it starts with just allowing yourself to imagine and muse over what it feels like when you're living the life you want. And when I say that, I want to go to broad strokes. It feels easy. It feels like there's flow. I feel trust of the experience. I'm able to take in joy. I'm able to feel powerful without feeling dominant. So I think that this is super, super powerful. And I think it's going to really create more opportunities than closures. Because I think with this idea that the sun in Capricorn at 16 degrees conjunct Mercury retrograde is giving me an opportunity during this full moon cycle, when there is this illumination about, are my thoughts supporting what I want to live, or am I stuck in my story? Am I stuck in what has been? Because the trine aspect to Uranus retrograde at the Gemini degree, 15 degrees, is giving me an opportunity to liberate myself from any thought process that I've been kind of stuck in. Kind of, that we believe at some point an imprint becomes a series of thoughts that we repeat over and over again that appears real. But when we give ourselves permission to open up that thought process and to allow for variables, and if anybody brings in variables, it's Uranus, then we're liberated from these things. So I think this is really, really powerful. And I want to offer you this idea. I was going to go through each one of the houses and talk about how this Cancer full moon will affect you, but I don't think that that's going to give you a whole picture. I would like to invite you to go back to your natal chart and to look and see where in October that first full moon at 16 degrees Aries, where was that in your chart? Then I would ask you to look and see where are the new moons, that Sagittarian new moon in 2022, the Capricorn new moon in December 2022. Look at the pattern of how these are playing out in your natal chart, because I think this will actually give you a more clear picture of the opportunities that lie ahead and how you can culminate one cycle. And rather than abandoning it or releasing it, it's an ability to capitalize on it, to garnish wisdom and bounty and abundance from it. So this first few months of the year, they feel very powerful in how they are teeing up the second half of the year. So I would explore that if I were you. For me personally, I had that Sagittarius new moon conjunct my natal Jupiter. I had the Capricorn new moon conjunct my natal Saturn. And so I started to feel that the stars were supporting me after feeling I'd been kind of sitting under in a timeout. I kind of felt like the world had put the stars had put me in a timeout. And as I reflected on the timeout, I realized I was trying too hard. I was feeling the burden of work versus the joy of manifestation. And now I'm realigned. And this particular video feels super exciting to me because I think that there are pearls of wisdom that we are going to experience moving forward that we didn't see before. They may have been there, but our eyes didn't have the ability to focus on them. And maybe we weren't looking in the right direction. So go to your natal chart, look and see where these series of moons is coming up. Again, I want to go back to the new moons in the fall of 2022, and then the full moons starting with October's full moon in 2022 and moving all the way to Aries. And you're going to see a theme and a pattern, almost like a roadmap. So, and if you'd like to book a reading with me and explore the details of your chart more specifically, I am available. I also do angel readings, which are very different from the astrology readings. They're more intuitive readings where you connect with your guides and your angels and get advice from them on how you can move your story forward. So I hope that this full moon video was a little bit different than I had anticipated initially. But I got really excited about what I discovered when I looked a little bit deeper. So I hope you will do the same. Again, my name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer. Please like, please subscribe, please hit that notification bell and share the videos with your friends. And please join me starting back again on January 8th, 2023. I will be live at 11 a.m. Pacific time, where we do the weekly angel scopes, where we get the advice from the angels on how to traverse the week ahead's transits. So thanks so much for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Peace.